Thank you for joining me today. I have a little message prepared for you, beautiful humans. My name is Desiree, but some call me Desi. Desi Speaks. I'm a mother. I'm an aeronautic systems sourcer. I'm a nonprofit leader, and I'm also a felon. First, I want to talk about mindset. I believe it's really important to have a growth mindset. Mindset is what got me here today. The mindset decision is between either victimhood or victorhood. And I would like to focus on victorhood. I would like to see you all become winners. Winners of not a competition, but winners of your own life's journey. Many of us are here that have made mistakes, but our mistakes do not define us or who we are. We have also had successes in our lives, people that love us and care about us. You are not the sum of your mistakes, and neither am I. A growth mindset lets us know that we are not victims of our circumstances, but we can make deliberate choices to transcend our current situations and circumstances. Our mindsets are what allow us to get to the next level in life. Our mindsets are what allow us to break the chains that really have us bound, the mental chains that keep us enslaved to lives that we no longer deserve to live. Victorhood is the mindset of winners. We're not fixed in boxes. We could transcend the fish bowls of our environments. Our environments do not dictate our worth. Discovery. It's high time that we discover our purpose in life. Once we begin to discover our purpose, we are on the path to identifying what we can do for the rest of our lives. What drives you? What is your passion? How do you feed yourself? How do you feed your community? What makes you feel whole? What are those things that your community applauds you for? What do you bring to the table? We all bring something of value to the table. Is it a skill that you possess? Is it the way you smile? Is it the way you inspire others around you? You can be a leader without a title, and it's very important to remember that. Adaptability. I often say, we adapt or we die. Evolution is a very important process to survival of humanity. Many of us in these circumstances are highly adaptable people. We adapt to these conditions. We'll adapt to the next conditions. Everyone isn't as adaptable as you are. And your adaptability may well be your superpower. Can you adapt to the current economic climate? Can you adapt to discover new skills? Can you adapt to new truths? Are you able to receive new information and apply that knowledge to develop a better life for yourself and your community and your family? How adaptable are you? Adaptability may well be your superpower. In all of this, remember to give yourself grace. You deserve grace. As I said in my opening, you are a precious person. Handle yourself with care. Care for yourself. So show yourself the love that you deserve. You are a child of the Creator. Why not give yourself grace? Why not know that you're as precious as you were created to be? Understand that and internalize that. And show yourself the love that you deserve. With self-love and self-care, definitely comes self-respect. Respecting our bodies and our minds. Being very intentional about the things that we consume and the things that we create. respecting the minds and the bodies and the consciousness of others. It's very important. There's no reason to create anything that's no longer beneficial to yourself or your communities. That's no longer a necessity. Opportunities are everywhere. And once you discover what you deserve, your true worth, not your net worth, what someone else assigns to you, what your true worth is as a creation of the Almighty Creator, you will learn to love yourself as you truly deserve. And you'll give yourself the grace that's required to make it to the next level of life. Seek help. Seeking help, outreaching for mentors who have been where where you are right now, or who are in the places that you want to go. Mentorship is powerful. And once you're there, you can reach back and mentor others. Lifting as we climb. Connecting with others that are lifting as they climb. We can transcend all of these conditions. Mentorship is essential. It's important that you're connected with people that can provide you with a blueprint to success, or even ideas of how they filled in those gaps, or, crossed those bridges that you find yourselves now crossing or going to cross very soon. You must have confidence in yourself. That is also essential. Confidence and self-esteem, belief that you deserve what it is that you're working for. Not entitlement, but confidence in your abilities and the skills that you're developing with intentionality. It's important that people from our backgrounds are no longer handicapped by imposter syndrome, trying to fit into boxes that were not designed for us. Be confident in the skills that you possess and that you're developing and that you will develop as you dedicate yourself to those pursuits consistently. You can be a master. You can be an authority on a subject, whatever that is. You can be a writer. You could be an engineer. You could be a tattoo artist. You could be an astronaut. Don't let that feel too imaginary. Don't let that be too big. Ask large and work hard and be smart. What you work for is within your grasp. And if you work for it with integrity and consistency, you do deserve it. Know that. Believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will believe in you either. Authenticity. Walk in your truth. Own your history. Be the author of your own story. We no longer have to emulate anyone else. Our stories are beautiful and they are unique. And you are the only person who has walked in your shoes. Own that. There is so much value in your experience and everything that you have been through. There are people all over the world looking to learn from you. Become master of your own destiny. We are the masters of our own fate. Do hard work and faith, intention, consistency again. We can forge new paths and develop blueprints together, authentically embracing ourselves and our communities and our backgrounds, and serving as lights to the world. You are not the sum of where you've been or the mistakes that you've made. You are learning lessons. You are a student of life. We are students of life. This entire experience, this learning experience, this lifelong learning experience. Authentically own that and show the world how great you are and how beautiful you are and how strong you are and intelligent and resourceful and resilient you are. Shine like a jewel, the jewel that you are, you precious gem, child of God. Support others. This is really, really important. I go back and I like to emphasize that about not making this life a competition. It's okay to collaborate with other people. It's quite all right to celebrate other people's wins. Support them. Share their endeavors. Work together. Since the beginning of time, successful people have worked together and built empires and built businesses and established brands and enterprises. You don't have to do this alone. There are countless people walking the same type of path that you were on. Now, staying in your lane is important, and being focused on your goal and focusing on your path is very important. But I definitely want to emphasize that we must support other people and show love. As we show love, in return, we will receive love. As you support other people, that will come back to you. You will magnetize the energy and the support that you give to the world. You never know who you're supporting. You never know who they'll become one day. You never know how they'll feed back into you and your vision and your purpose and your community. Spread that love, because the love you give will heal the world. Very important. And as we go deeper into this conversation, I want to bring in accountability, because we're all here for a reason. I've been in your space for a reason. I made decisions. Some may say it's out of desperation. I might have said it was out of necessity, to get myself from one place to another, to feed my child, to make the smartest decision possible. You may feel that way. We must be accountable for the decisions that we make and the consequences that soon follow. Consequence with sequence. A subsequent action that serves as a reaction to something that we've done. So we commit a crime, we may have to serve time. If we don't serve time, we may feel the impact of that later on in life in a way that is not necessarily incarceration. We have to understand that the circumstances that we find ourselves in may not always be our fault also, but sometimes it's our responsibility to fix them. You've been through things, you've been hurt, you've been harmed by people. They say hurt people hurt people. That's not your fault. But no one is going to come and clean up your mess. No one is going to come and clean up my messes for me. So it's my responsibility. I have to be accountable for that. I have to be able to sit up and say that I did everything I could to get myself out of a situation. I may have caused it. I may not have caused it. But it's still my responsibility to address it. The ability to respond to the circumstances. The ability to say, my fault. That was my bad. I made a terrible decision. The ability to deal with the circumstances. The ability to know that there's life beyond those circumstances. Even if I find myself incarcerated until I die, nothing can stop me from being great. I'll be great in any room I find myself in. I could be in the hole, and I can continue to generate ideas. I can continue to inspire myself or those that I have access to. No one can stop your momentum that occurs in your mind. No one has access to that, and don't allow them to. Speak for yourself. It's very important that we don't allow others to put words in our mouths. Control your narrative. Control your reputation. Who is going to protect your reputation like you will? Who will care enough? They say people are whoever they are. They say that human beings are 1,000% more interested, or 1,000 times more interested in themselves than they are in anyone else. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's your duty to speak for yourself, to stand up for yourself with wisdom, choosing the right words. That also comes with practice. But it's time to make a start. Speak for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Sometimes society gets so strange, it's almost like we're in a war of the words, you know? This is going on. There's a label for this, and they say this is coming down the pipeline, and this catastrophe is over here, and then this, and then that, and all these labels, all these words just coming. We're being bombarded by them, but we have power in those words. The power to define ourselves. That is very, very important. You can define yourself. You can redefine yourself. You can reinvent yourself. Imagine the power of understanding that you are the potter of your own clay. That you can shape your narrative and shape your life and create the life that you want through wise decisions, through making the right choices and acting with integrity. Message. Independent study. Now, I may have been many things, but I was a pretty good student. And one of my favorite classes or level of coursework was independent study. When I got there, I realized how much I actually loved school, because I didn't like school very much before independent study came along. When I got to the level, I was able to choose the internships that I would learn and get college credit for. And I took that mindset with me beyond college life. Some of you may know that I was working on my master's. I have not yet finished that, but that's fine, because I've learned so much independently. I've traveled the world. I've been to many countries. I'm a mother of 4. My oldest son, he's lived in at least 3 different countries in his life. He's traveled to about 9. And I'm so grateful for that independent study, that deep dive into other cultures and languages and ways of living that have helped to shape who I am today. Traveling is important, but you do not have to travel to study independently. So many institutions have libraries. I know during my short stay in Chicago, I was able to attend the law library, where I did a lot of research on the charges that I was facing and the wording behind them. Going back to words, the tricky words that are used a lot of times to keep us in the situations that we're in, but diving deep to understand what the words actually meant. Independent study. Independently pursuing the information that will get you to the next level in life. We don't have to wait for someone to give us the information that's necessary for our freedom, because most likely they won't. But if you dive deep and pursue the information, and nowadays it's so easy because we're in the age of information, but so many people are still starving for knowledge. We can carefully craft our consumption. We can choose to ignore things that are not beneficial for ourselves. We can choose to consume things that will expand our awareness, that will brighten our horizons, that will lead to our eventual liberation. It's all a choice. The things that you choose to study independently will have a direct impact on your mindset. They have a direct impact on my mindset. If we all choose to make wise decisions around our courses of study, we may decide to study pathways to self-care. We'll learn ways that we can begin to respect ourselves more, to make wise decisions, to clean up our neighborhoods, to raise these amazing, young, beautiful people that are out here waiting for us. Independent study is not just about school. It's about the decisions that you make with your free mind to consume the contents that's freely available to your overall benefit. It's time to reflect on the decisions that we made, to really introspect on why we're here. Where could I have done things differently? How will I do things differently once I have my second or third chance? How can I do things differently while I'm still here? How can I show love to others and love on myself and show other people how to love on themselves? How can I be the brightest light possible in this world that sometimes seems so dark? How can I liberate my mind from an institutionalized state? Because we all know here that you do not have to be incarcerated to be institutionalized. I know all of you know someone who may be working here who's more institutionalized than you are. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Just because you're behind bars does not mean that you're a savage. Just because you've faced incarceration does not mean that you're a criminal. Do not allow someone to define your story or put labels on you that is not beneficial to your overall well-being and mindset. You were in a situation, and that is it. You're not a victim. You can be a victor. No one is coming to save us, but you can save yourself. And we can save each other. And we could work together. And we could show love. And we could support one another. And we could smile at each other when we see each other in the hallway. And we could hug one another if you're allowed to. But if not, you can give that sister, you can give that brother a smile or a hug with your eyes. It's okay. Sometimes the only way people could punish you is through separation. But no one could separate the energy of your heart. We radiate that. Some people radiate that heart energy for miles. This is true science, real rap. Some people's energy and frequency can penetrate the toughest fields. You could fine-tune yourself. You are strong humans. Some of the strongest on this planet. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. You've been through a lot. Much like coal. Pressure makes diamonds. Are you a diamond? I personally bet you're a diamond. Diamonds are so valuable. And you are so incredibly precious. I want you to understand how important it is to care for yourself, to love yourself, to respect yourself. Without self-love and self-respect, how can we possibly love or respect anyone else? Let's think about that. If we don't do it, how can we care for our loved ones? How can we care for our homes and our environments if we don't care for ourselves? And caring for yourself means that you care for your future. It means that you'll make decisions that are not only beneficial for you, but beneficial for your children, If you don't have children, beneficial for your community, beneficial to all those who are watching you, who will be inspired by you and your story, and the movements that you'll create, and the beautiful businesses that you'll develop, that some of you are already developing, you geniuses. If only you knew how powerful you are. How many of us are rooting for you? How many of us want to see you transcend these current conditions and understand that you are not the sum of your mistakes or your accomplishments? You're a human walking this life who found yourself in some circumstances that are not the most favorable, but they're shaping you and preparing you for the life that you're going to lead, for the people that you're going to lead, for the powerful impact that you'll have on this world. Indeed, this is not the end. It's just the beginning. I don't care how old you are, how experienced you are, how young you are. You have so much value in you, in your being. You are a beautiful soul. You may not have been taught about your value and your worth. You may not have even been taught or shown respect in your life. So, of course, it may be easy not to respect yourself. Respect through the food that we eat, through the content that we consume through our eyes or through our ears, the way we allow people to speak to us, the way we allow ourselves to speak to other people. They're all indicators of our respect, how respectful you are. A lot of times when we don't respect ourselves, we find ourselves in a situation where we can become disrespectful people. And we're not. We don't need to be disrespectful people. We can be honorable people that show honor and respect to others. We know how to care for others. We know how to care for our surroundings because we care for ourselves every day. We care about our futures. We care about the examples that we are in our communities. We go home and we make them proud. We make ourselves proud first and foremost because you're worthy and you're beautiful and you're important. And most of all, you are a cherished creation. You are cherished. You are precious. So know your worth. Understand who you are. Dive deep into your own mind, no matter where you may find yourself at any point in your life. Just really internalize and breathe and feed that beautiful oxygen to our brains. Everywhere you are, just take a deep breath and remember how important you are. Keep your head up. Keep your head held high. Understanding that you deserve respect because you're respectful. As you display the respect that you deserve, you'll notice that people will treat you different. Now, something's different about her. Desi, she's walking different. Guess I'm walking different. I'm a queen. I see my brother. He's a king. I don't care what kind of suit he's wearing. I don't care what color they put him in. He is valuable. He is precious. He deserves respect. The same way you deserve respect. When you get a chance, you love on those children. You love on those loved ones you may not be able to see every day. When you get the chance, don't forget how much they love you. Don't forget how much they're counting on you, your community. Remember, your mindset, victorhood, not victimhood, victorhood, discovery, discover your passion will help you determine your purpose. Adaptability. Remembering to be adaptable is very important. You either adapt or you dissolve or die. Giving yourself grace. Being merciful. Understanding that you're not the sum of your mistakes. Don't feel guilty if you have not shown yourself the most respect. This is not about guilt or shame. This is about turning those wavelengths down. Not shame, not guilt, but understanding where you've been through. Understanding the trauma that you've experienced and how valuable those experiences are into who you've become and all the people that you can uplift through your story. Grace and understanding. Seeking mentors, seeking help, asking for help when you need it. Do not be afraid or too proud to ask for help. We've all need help. Every person that has been successful in this life has accepted help at some point. Don't be too proud. Pride does not equate to self-respect. Sometimes it can be quite the opposite. Don't let the ego get in the way of your lifetime success. Turn that down. Seek help. Accept mentorship. You can also be confident while you're seeking help. Confident that you will overcome. Confident in your belief. Confident in the skills that you will develop and that you're currently developing. Confident in the choices that you make, because you will no longer be making choices out of desperation. You can make choices out of wisdom. Choices based on responsibility. What's most responsible given the circumstances? What do I have available to me? Am I able to respond to that situation with a beneficial choice? Can I operate in integrity? Have confidence that you can make the right decisions and that you will. Authenticity. Embrace your unique self. All the beauty and nuance that you bring to the table. No one has walked your path when you walked into the room. Not a single soul. You are special. Your light shines differently. You got a little bounce in your step. You didn't come in the same door, nor do you need to, because you're beautiful. Supporting others and showing love. Working together. Be great at collaboration. Collaboration is a great key to success. You can do a lot of things by yourself, but we can't always do them as well or as quickly when we're working with other people. Understand that someone is doing something and there's no reason to reinvent the wheel when you can just collaborate. Collapse time frames. Get things done. Join a team. Grow a team. If no one's giving you a seat at their table, build your own table. The best tables don't have one leg. Remember that. Accountability. Own your mistakes, sis. Own your mistakes, brother. It's okay. Name a person that made no mistakes. Name a person. We all make mistakes, even if it's just trusting a trader. It's a mistake. Sometimes we have the wrong love interests. It's a mistake. Sometimes we take the bag when we weren't supposed to. It was a mistake. It's okay. People make white-collar mistakes all the time. They may not get the same consequences, but karma's real. Consequences come, whether they're immediate or not. Understand that no one's getting away from consequences at the end of the day. Own those mistakes. It's quite all right. It's quite all right. I understand that sometimes we experience regret. I totally understand that. But also understand that I would not be where I am today without the decisions that I made. And I'm grateful to be here with you today. Therefore, I'm grateful for the mistakes that I made. And I could only say that for myself. But accountability is still important. It's very important. It leads to growth. It makes you a great leader. And it makes you a trusted individual. And trust is very, very, very important in success. Speaking for yourself, defining yourself, redefining yourself, establishing your own standards, not trying to consistently live up to the standards of others. It's okay, quite okay to establish your own criteria for success. Because we're not developing slaves. We're just developing masters of your own fate, masters of your own life. You are the author of your story. Just like I wrote my book, Walton Publishing was a great resource. They allowed me to write my own story. They helped guide me through that process. I worked with Dr. Sherry Walton, and she was a godsend for me. And she really helped me to get it done, but I was still able to use my words. And that was really important, to speak for myself, to tell my own story, because no one can tell your story the way that you can. And that's quite all right. Choose the content that you choose to consume. Be very intentional about that. Independent study. Once you start to dig into that passion and your purpose, dig deeper. Find other people who have been successful in those paths. Read a little bit about their stories. That might make a great mentor. Why not? The worst answer you can get is no. It's okay to be rejected. And guess what? You might not be rejected. Study. Research. Dive deep. If you have free time, I love spending my free time researching new things. And I love things that stimulate new thoughts in my mind. I call myself an innovator. I'm a social entrepreneur, but I'm also an innovator. I love science, all things STEM. I love things that stimulate new thought. It's okay when we run into information that might hit a wall of cognitive dissonance, and we just have to push through that to understand, like, maybe it's a blind spot. Maybe I just didn't know this existed to study it before. But now that I'm aware, let's walk in that new awareness. And only thing permanent is change. Things will always change. That's one thing you could bet on, is that things will always change. New information is always coming to light. And that's quite all right. It goes back to adaptability. Can you evolve? Can you learn to apply the new principles? Can you learn to use new functions? Just like technology is advancing wildly every day, even nowadays. Every time you look around, there's a new technology. We have artificial intelligence here now that can, they say by 2030 or even 2025, 90% of content will be generated by artificial intelligence. Technology. Things are always changing. That was not the case at least 5 years ago that I was aware of, even last year. Things are always changing. Keep studying. Keep learning so you can keep up with the changing times. Again, I want to wrap up with reflecting on your decisions, reflecting on where you are in life, reflecting on your desires, what you want. What do you want your legacy to be? Where do you want to be in life when you happen to perish? What are the things that you want to leave behind? What are your children or the people around you or those that care about you going to say about you when you're no longer here? Did you care for yourself? Did you care for others? Were you respectable? Were you respectful? Because you can't command respect. You can't demand respect. You're just a respectable person. You're respectable by being respectful. And you're the most respectful when you respect yourselves. I love you and I appreciate you. And I thank you for listening. Wishing the best for you. Have a great day.